Your nightstand tells a quiet story before you ever open a book. It's not tidy, it's not curated. It looks a little like indecision spilled itself out in paperback form. A mystery stacked sideways. A fantasy novel face, down like it needed a break. Something earnest and self-improving, wedged between them with a neon bookmark sticking out like it's raising its hand to be called on. You notice it sometimes, usually when you're brushing your teeth or reaching for your phone, and you think, I really should finish one of these. And then you don't. Instead, you read 10 pages here, a chapter there. Maybe a paragraph from the one you keep meaning to get back to but never quite do. You turn off the light with your brain still half inside three different worlds, and if you're honest, that feels good, comfortable, familiar. Still, there's that small nagging voice, the one that wonders if this means something is wrong, if this is evidence of a short attention span, or a lack of discipline, or some deeper inability to commit. Other people talk about their book, the singular noble book they are currently reading, and you nod along while quietly thinking, I'm currently reading several. Here's the thing, no one really tells you. The way you read is rarely accidental. It's not chaos. It's not a failure of willpower. It's usually your mind doing what it's always done, trying to take care of itself in the ways it knows how. Some people can't imagine opening a new book until the old one is finished, spine cracked, and story sealed. For them, starting something new before finishing feels like leaving a sentence unfinished. Uncomfortable. Almost rude. Others, people like you maybe, feel boxed in by that idea. One story at a time feels too narrow, like eating the same meal every day and being told that variety is a flaw. When you juggle books, you're not juggling plots so much as moods. There are nights when your brain is wrung out, when the day has taken more than it gave, and the last thing you can handle is something dense or demanding. On those nights, you don't want to learn or analyze. You want to disappear. So you slip into a world with dragons or distant galaxies or lives nothing like your own, and you let that be enough. Other nights, you feel restless instead of tired. Your thoughts bounce. You want stimulation, not escape. That's when you reach for something brisk, sharp, or practical. Something that makes your mind feel awake again. It's not inconsistency. It's responsiveness. You're listening to your internal weather report instead of pretending every night feels the same. And sometimes, this is harder to admit, you avoid finishing books not because you don't like them, but because finishing feels strange. Endings carry weight. They close doors. They force decisions. Once a book is done, it's done. You have to choose again. You have to let go. Keeping several books half open is a way of keeping the world slightly ajar, like leaving a window cracked just in case. There's comfort in the middle of a story, in the not yet, in knowing something good is still waiting. You might tell yourself you'll finish it soon, and maybe you will, but there's no rush. The story isn't going anywhere. It's patient. Then there's curiosity, the kind that refuses to sit still. You don't just want one flavor of thought at a time. You want fiction and truth, beauty and usefulness. Something that feels like a conversation and something that feels like a mirror. Reading only one genre can feel like wearing the same outfit every day, even if it's a good one. So you mix it up. A memoir for connection. A novel for wonder. A few poems because sometimes a page is enough. From the outside, it might look scattered. Inside, it feels balanced. What gets lost in the conversation about good reading habits is how personal reading actually is. We talk about books the way we talk about productivity, as if there's a right pace, a right method, a finish line everyone should be racing toward. We praise completion, we track numbers, we set goals. And all of that can be fine until it starts to drown out the quieter question of whether the reading is actually doing anything for you. Maybe your way of reading doesn't produce neat stacks of finished books. Maybe it produces something messier but more alive, moments of comfort when you need them, sparks of insight when you're ready, companionship on nights when your thoughts won't settle down. A relationship with reading isn't supposed to look impressive. It's supposed to feel sustaining. So if your nightstand still looks like a small literary storm system, maybe that's okay. Maybe it means you're paying attention to your moods, your curiosity, your limits. Maybe it means you understand intuitively that your mind doesn't run on a single track. You'll finish the books you're meant to finish. The others will drift away quietly, having served their purpose. And that doesn't make you unfocused or undisciplined. It just makes you human. After all, reading isn't a race. It's a conversation you keep returning to, sometimes mid-sentence, sometimes changing the subject entirely, always trusting that the words will be there when you come back.